This is a show with no particular niche, baby. It's always about hanging out. Maybe we'll laugh at some stuff, maybe we'll learn something new, but it's always about hanging out, me and you. Hi, hello, and welcome to That Thing with James. I'm your host, James, and baby, I'm like Review Bra, running on empty. Do you know about Review Bra? He's great. He is great. I think his YouTube channel is called like Review of the Week, something like that. Just look up Review Bra, B-R-A-H, and you'll see a guy, skinny, pale dude. He reviews fast food. He's amazing. I've been following him for years. Great watch, great material. And he seems like a genuinely sweet person. But, you know, like he said, this is running on empty. I'm actually running on empty. I'm running on, let's call it 3 hours tops of sleep. And I almost said rest, but that ain't enough to get rest. I haven't had rest in weeks. Baby, I'm running on empty right now. So I didn't even bother busting out the squeaky toys. A couple weeks ago, I had an idea for what to talk about in this exact episode right here that you're hearing and or watching. And, you know, somewhere between then and now, I didn't get enough sleep consistently. Well, not to say I didn't get a consistent amount of sleep. I think over the past 2 weeks, I've had one full night of sleep, like a proper 6 hours. That's usually what I get is 6 hours of sleep. I got half that last night. I'm ragged. My dad fell, busted his face up royally. 80-something-year-old man. Jesus. I wish he would use this fucking walker because he just consistently keeps falling. Dude, use your fucking walker. You are not the only person you are hurting because there are other people in your life who take care of you, who care for you, and who have to take care of you. So you're not just hurting yourself, old man. Use your goddamn walker. Get over the ego thing. You're old. It's okay. That's supposed to happen. It's okay. Okay. That's all that. Where was I going? Yeah, I had an idea. I was going to do an episode about these mysterious deaths of all these scientists that have been going on. And frankly, I've been too preoccupied to put in the homework necessary to pull off an episode like that. So I'm defaulting to the lowest hanging fruit, Reddit. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find some juicy Today I Fucked Ups. Before we get into that, however, I would like to invite you to help support the show and maybe help me get some rest at patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. Once again, that is patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. There you can find well over 100 bonus episodes, and you can get access to all of them by becoming a patron for the low price of $5. There are other tiers where if you want to, toss a little extra scratch my way. There are extra perks that come along with those accelerated, advanced, higher tiers. But baseline's $5. Some months ago or whatever, I was knocking around the idea of like lowering the price. And, I asked the question on this show and no one replied. So no changes have been implemented. Base price is the same for now. But to those of you who are already patrons, however, thank you. You rock. I greatly appreciate it. And Yeah, patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. The link is written in the episode description, so you don't have to try to remember everything. I wrote it down and gave it to you. It's an open book test. You have no reason to fail. Audio listeners, this show is on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and look up That Thing with James. My channel will pop up and you can subscribe and watch every episode and share every episode and leave positive comments on every episode to boost me, baby, boost me. I've given up. I mean, how many times have I said that? If you've been watching this show for a long time, that's my mantra, I think. I give up. And it's not like, I try a little bit. No, I try really fucking hard often, and it doesn't work out for me. I'm not one of those people who gets things out of grinding in the perhaps traditional, common, standard way grinding is perceived. That does not work for me. And frankly, I don't think it works for most people. I think the pool of people who grind in the traditional fucking sense is actually quite small. And the majority of people are just forced to fit into a syntax that does not work for their format, their natural language of being. Yeah, baby. So yeah, when I really buckle down and grind in the traditional sense, shit gets so bad consistently. I've been alive long enough and I've done the same things and different things enough to know myself, what works for me and what tends to not work for me. And when I grind, shit doesn't, it falls apart. And the harder I try to make something work, to make something not fall apart, the more it blows up in my face. Total backfire. I mean, life catastrophic shit. You think, oh, what's the worst that could happen? Worse than you can fucking imagine, bucko. That's what happens. So I have to work from a different mode that doesn't really fit with your traditional Calvinistic capitalist sense, mode of production. I have to do things in my own way, and it works out. It works out. And part of my own way is saying my mantra, I give up. That doesn't mean I give up completely. That doesn't mean I necessarily give up being open to the potential of something I cannot predict happening. What I mean is more I give up in a Buddhist, Taoist sense. I give up control. I give up expectation. Yeah, put that in big rainbow letters over my head. Expectation. If I had an expensive video editing software and the time to do it, I would add that effect. Expectation. I would add that text effect over my head and viewers would see it, but I don't have that much time. I don't have that many resources, so I'm working with what I got here. And what I got is Today I Fucked Up, titled Today I Fucked Up by Asking My Friend's Mum Out. Mum instead of mom implies perhaps this is an English person. We will explore in just a second. Be right back. So I just briefly scanned over the first paragraph of this post. I've not read anything we're getting into today. We're discovering this together at the same time. Well, maybe not at the same time because I'm recording this the Sunday before it comes out on Friday. I'm recording this on 11 a.m. Sunday, May 3rd, 2026. And by the way, in case you're watching and wondering about my hair, no, it's not cut. I just have it back in a ponytail because it's very fluffy right now and it tickles my face and gets stuck to my bristle. Ugh, excuse me. So yes, I scanned over the first paragraph of this post and I've determined I think it might be a young man, early 20s, male, I'm thinking, clearly English. So what I'm really getting at is what voice do we want to go for here? The first thing that came to mind was Pippin. But then we've got a couple other options here. If it's asking my friend's mum out, this fits into a couple other things, a couple other categories that come to mind, the in-betweeners and skins, which I'll lump those two together. So we've got Pippin, and then, we've got skins. Which one feels better? Let's do this. Let's start reading with the Pippin voice, see how we like it. If we don't, we can reset and go with the in-betweeners / skins voice. Now, I'm not lumping in-betweeners and skins together because the tone of those two is, you could argue they're somewhat similar, but skins is so much more hardcore. All I'm saying is it's more the naturalistic approach. But let's start with Pippin. Please, sir, may I have some more? All right, yeah, let's try it out. Posted 7 days ago by Infinite Access 428. Title: Today I fucked up by asking my friend's mum out. My friend's mum has been single for at least a few years. Okay, yeah, I like that. We're going with Pippin. Lock in. Interface. What was it in that the sequel to Blade Runner? Which, by the way, it's well done, but it's not that great. It's certainly not the fucking original. Come on, get over it. Watch more movies. Open yourself up. Let's read. My friend's mum has been single for the last few years. She is currently in her mid-40s. I am in my early 20s, and I've always found her to be really attractive. She carries herself with confidence and has a pretty wicked sense of humor. For most people who do not know her, she can seem pretty cold, detached, and aloof, but once you get to know her, she is one of the nicest and most caring persons out there. I have been strongly infatuated with her for the last 2 years. Recently, I ran into her in a shopping mall, and we had a great conversation. She got us both coffee, and we had a great time yapping away at the cafe. Ever since, she appeared in my dream twice. I've never felt this towards any other woman before. Not in the last 22 years of my life. Yesterday, what's the song where you hot for Stacy's mom? Yeah, it's this Stacy's mom has really got it going on. I'm in love with Stacy's mom. Stacy's mum. There we go. Yesterday, I decided to make a move. Oh, God. Oh, no. I slid into her Instagram DM and told her that her dinner outfit was amazing and looked really good on her. Then I asked her for dinner, just to catch up further. She replied, initially, saying sure, and she would bring her son along too. I did not know how to reply to that. I wanted to make it clear that this was a date, and it would be the two of us. I gave it a few hours, then I got a bottle of red wine and chugged 2 glasses down before to calm my nerves and to boost my confidence. Then I texted her, telling her I would love to go on a date with her. Right after I sent that, it was radio silence from her until 1 hour ago. She dropped me a text, gently declining my offer and telling me I am a great kid and the best with girls all the best with girls my age. I'm absolutely crushed. I don't know how my friend will see me from now onwards. I have no idea. If she told my friend, TLDR, I asked my friend's mum out for a date and was rejected. Oh, man. Pippin, you dog. I think she's flattered, man. I think that made her feel so fucking good. I doubt she's going to tell her son anytime soon. Maybe a few years. Maybe when you're both 25. Oh, man, that's good. Let's read these comments. Excuse me. Top comment. Inviting her son was her way of turning you down nicely. Someone replies, she handled it perfectly. Soft no, then a softer no, then a clear no. OP just had to swing and miss to get the message. To which someone else replies, OP really said she's the nicest, most caring person while at the same time thinking she's going to date her son's friend. What did he think was going to happen? I mean, he's in love with his friend's mom. Someone replied to the top comment, a different reply. He didn't get the hint because he was too drunk on hope and wine to read the room. Good for him. You know, he tried. He did it. And he wasn't offensive about it or anything. He did it. Good for him. Let's see. Another comment. She probably won't mention anything to her son. She's made it clear that she has no inclination to go on a date with you, while allowing you to retain your dignity. Respect that and move on. To which someone replies, she will tell her friends, though. Oh, dude. I can pretty much guarantee she didn't tell your friend. You're good, bro. There's nothing wrong with going out with someone older than you, but don't go out with your friend's mom or dad. To which someone replies, what about Stacy's mom? Oh, man. Someone else says, damn, she casually dropped the hint by inviting her son, your friend, along. And you're like, that doesn't work for me, brother. and worked yourself into a shoot. What the fuck does that mean? Let's see. I just keep getting hung up on the idea that a 20-something thinks shooting a shot with a 40-something means sending an Instagram DM. To which someone replies, exactly, bro doesn't know ball yet. I think, yeah, someone else says here, she knew that you were asking her on a date right from the jump. Mentioning her son was her way of telling you that it's never going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, not in the past 22 years of my life. Oh, you poor sweet little weirdo. Bless his horny heart. Yeah, good for him. I hope I hope he bags a granny. What is that? Uh casket robber. It's like the other end of the spectrum from like a cradle robber. We got a casket robber. Let me find something else. Be right back. Okay, now we've got this one. We're gonna stick with the outside of the country motif so far. We'll see how it keeps going. This one was posted by Fun Resource 6067 67 4 months ago. Title: Today I fucked up by explaining my mom's job very, very wrong to my boyfriend's family. Cover face, eye peeking out emoji. Medium length, okay? All right, we're in for a story. I'm Brazilian. And when this happened in 2013, I had been living in Ireland for about 2 years. My English was good enough for everyday conversations, but my vocabulary was limited. This detail is important. This was the very first time I met my then boyfriend's parents. It was a Sunday lunch at his parents' house, nothing formal, but it still felt like a big moment. We had only just started dating, and I remember being extra careful, trying to be polite, charming, and generally not say anything stupid. I didn't really know what kind of family they were yet, and even though I'd never personally experienced prejudice in Ireland for being Brazilian, I had friends who had, so I was very aware that this lunch could go badly. We were all sitting around at the table, eating and chatting when the friendly and expected interrogation started. Where I was from, how long I'd been in Ireland, how many siblings I had, all normal, all easy. I was starting to relax and feel like I was doing fine. Then someone asked, "So what does your mom do for a living?" My mom is an artisan. She does crafts, scrapbooking, painting, handmade things. In Portuguese, you could casually explain that by saying she works with her hands. My brain latched onto that phrase in Portuguese and did a terrible split-second translation. And before I could stop myself, I said very calmly, "Oh, she does hand jobs." The reaction was immediate. My FIL and BIL, in-law? Wait, boyfriend? I think she's calling the in-laws, or the boyfriend's family in-laws. Let's just roll with it. My FIL and BIL burst out laughing. Not confused laughter, not delayed laughter, instant, uncontrollable laughter. My boyfriend laughed too, torn between laughing and trying to keep a straight face. At the same moment they started laughing, I realized what I'd just said. My brain finally caught up and went, "You just told them your mother gives hand jobs for a living." I was mortified. I wanted to cry right there at the table. My face was burning and my English completely disappeared. My boyfriend tried to break the laughter in the silence and said something like, "She means her mom is an artisan. She works with crafts, scrapbooking, painting." The MIL and SIL immediately jumped in as well and shut it down, saying that it was obvious what I meant, that it wasn't funny, and to stop. What? I appreciate them. Oh. The women were like, "All right, we get it. Stop laughing." Okay, that's what she means. I appreciated them more than I can properly explain. Lunch continued. I survived barely. Fast forward 11 years of marriage and 12 years of knowing them. Oh, so they are in-laws now. I love them dearly, and yes, this story has now become part of our family's Christmas tradition. Every Christmas, at some point, someone brings up the hand jobs incident. I can laugh about it now, but that first Sunday, sitting at that table, I was convinced I had just completely embarrassed myself beyond recovery. Glad I didn't. There's one last part to this story. I never told my mom. She absolutely adores my husband's family, and even though they don't speak the same language at all, I know that if she heard this story, she'd be mortified. So for now, this story lives with us, Reddit, and the Christmas table, but not her. TLDR, English isn't my first language. Met my boyfriend's parents for the first time, tried to explain that my mom is an artisan, accidentally told them she does hand jobs for a living. Yeah, that was pretty funny. Glitter Fart Tart has a comment here. I am Portuguese, living in Portugal. I knew this Brazilian woman, bless her heart. I laughed so hard when she told me her story. She was meeting her husband's family, who are Portuguese, for the first time. They ask what she does for a living, and she replies that she was working as a cleaner at a preschool during the day and did some odd jobs around the industrial area at night. This detail is just the cherry on top because the Brazilian Portuguese word for odd jobs is bicos. In Portuguese, bicos is slang for blowjobs. She told her husband's family that she does some blowjobs around the industrial area at night. Cue her mother-in-law clutching her pearls and everyone looking mortified. And she was just confused. She had other language mishap stories, but this one just took the cake. Someone replies, it's so much funnier to me when the language is the same, but the slang is completely different. Yeah, that's pretty humorous. Quite droll. Another commenter says, reminds me of an Irish friend visiting a Spanish family and complimenting them on the lack of preservativos in the food. Got some similar laughs. Preservativos. What does that mean? I have no idea. Oh, okay. For anyone else who didn't get it, I looked it up. It's condoms, LOL. Okay, yeah. I'm impressed you have no condoms in your food. Wow. I expected some latex. Okay. Man, I love languages and foreign stories and stuff, and these comments are giving that in abundance. Someone else says, I had something similar happen to me. My wife and I had a bit where she said she had a quote-unquote mind job because she does policy research, and I did manual labor. I have a desk job, so not really, but it requires minimal thinking. I riff with her dad a lot, and he asked what the mind job joke was. While explaining, I forgot the word manual and told him that I was just a blue-collar guy doing hand jobs. Panicked, did not explain myself out of hope that he missed the sexual reference. He didn't, and I'm still horrified. We do not do this bit anymore. Let's see. Someone else says, I mean, you're not the only one. Some politician back in the 2000s was trying to say you can't export manual labor because it has to be done in person. Instead, he said, you can't export hand jobs. As far as I know, English is his only language. Someone else replies, hey, the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, said on national television during the pandemic, to avoid, quote unquote, speaking moistly. He fully broke the sign language interpreter. Sometimes your brain just says, fuck established language rules. You're saying some utter nonsense now. Okay. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm going to pull up one more. But first, I need a sip of water. Be right back. All right, last one for this episode. And this one, I am keenly aware of the environment in this story because I grew up in a small town populated vast majority of very old people. I think perhaps the median age in my hometown growing up was at least 60. It's old people, a lot of old catty people in a small town, of course. So everyone talks because there's nothing to do, nothing going on. So people make drama and gossip about it. So let's read this full thing. Posted by Ancient Cheetah 9400 2 months ago. Title: Today I fucked up by inadvertently starting an old lady feud. It didn't happen today, but thought about it today and laughed. When I was younger, I had an older lady friend that I was pretty close to. One day she gave me an old pillbox hat that was gorgeous, and I was so excited. I'm pretty into vintage fashion. Easter Sunday was coming up, so I decided to wear the hat to church. At church, another old lady came up and complimented me on the hat, then asked where I got it. I told her it was a gift from insert old lady friend's name. And she made a face and said, "Oh, that's interesting because that was my mother's hat that I gave her the other day." And then walked away. I stood there, stunned, and realized I had just thrown my old lady friend under the bus. From what I know, they exchanged some words. I don't think they were as good as friends after that. Oops. Top comment: why are people insulted about regifting? It's good for the environment and clutter. Sentiment. That's why. That was her mother's. These are old people. And when you get to a certain age, most of what you have is memories. Depending on how you live and how you have lived, you might end up mostly with just memories as your life. It can be very lonely. Being old. I mean, old. Again, I know this. I grew up around it. And so that old lady got that pillbox hat, this gorgeous pillbox hat that I want to be a leopard print, from her mom. That's heavy sentimental value. And she was good enough friends with this other old lady to gift her this sentimental item. And then just a few days later, for that old lady to turn around and be like, whatever. Did the offended lady explain the sentimental value of this item and the significance inherent in gifting it to her friend? Maybe, maybe not. That would have some serious bearing, because if OP's old lady friend knew the sentimental value of that item, kind of shitty, especially after a few days, and without even telling, the previous owner of the hat. Yeah. So I don't think this is totally outlandish for them to get offended. Not at all. So why are people insulted about regifting? It's not that simple. Now, I see what you're trying to say, and within certain parameters, you've got a point. But in this context, no, there's a lot more at play. It's not just about the fucking hat. The curtains are more than just blue here. Someone said, not your fault. Someone else says, well, you didn't fuck up. And then another person says, so did you regift the hat on its regifting journey? OP replies, nah, I'm still its proud owner because it's so pretty. LOL. Okay, that's it for this episode. I need to let my camera charge up and prepare myself to record the bonus episode, which you can catch by becoming a patron at patreon.com/ThatThingWithJames. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope to catch you next time with a lot more sleep under my belt. Bye.